guys, this is my first video with my voice in it, and so, why am I making this video? I'm making this video because I want, more viewers and more subscribers, to completely be honest, and I feel like more people will actually subscribe and view if I actually show them how to build stuff in, like, tutorials, basically. But this video is not really a tutorial on how to build stuff, it's just like a theory concept. Like the very basic stuff, like super basic. So if you're an adult, probably don't watch this because you already know this probably. Of airplanes, by the way. And unless you're not like an engineer adult, then you can watch this if you want to learn more. Well, I'm a kid, so like, I'm pretty stupid, so but yeah, so this is how how do airplanes take off? Basically they have like, so I bet you all know this, like, they have the wing, and that wing's in an airfoil shape. And then, so it's like a curvy shape thingy. And then, so you have this thing called Bernoulli's principle, which this guy Bernoulli made, I think, or like found out thingy. And then so you have your air here, and then it flows over here. By the way, not all of this air flows over here. Like, all of the air just like goes like this around. But like, so Bernoulli's principle is saying, like, on an airfoil shape curved surface, you have your higher pressure, which is equal to lower speed. So you have your higher pressure, and then you have lower speed, lower pressure, higher speed. And then what's that saying? Like higher pressure below, and then the air goes down here, pushes it down here. Newton's third law: every reaction has an equal number of reaction, and then you have, okay, whatever. But yeah, okay. So basically, what you guys need to know about airplanes, well, if you already know them, then you're probably not watching this video. But what you need to know about airplanes is that how they actually create lift is they have airfoils on their wings, which is basically a curved shape. And this guy Bernoulli created this principle, and yeah. Okay, enough of that. Let's just get into like how you actually control the airplane, the basic way of how you actually like steer an airplane and take off easier and all that. Oh yeah, by the way, how do you actually create thrust though to actually like move your airplane because airfoil shape needs some velocity. You have to be moving with an airfoil shape to actually create lift, because you need air to go at high velocities over it. And how does it create thrust? Well, I bet you all know they have propellers, and on the propellers they have an angle of it. Well, they have an airfoil with a specific pitch. And by the way, if you see airplanes, so if you have too much pitch, that means too much angle of attack, then you basically won't be getting enough thrust. But if you have too little, you also won't be getting enough thrust. So you want the medium range, like, but yeah. Oh yeah, okay, so back to how you actually steer an airplane. So just say this is an airplane. It looks very bad, but, yeah, just say this is an airplane. Okay, so, you have your ailerons, which are these flaps here. And those basically control the roll. Basically, like, I'll show you the Airbus model. And you have your elevators here, which control your pitch. Which control your pitch. And that's basically the angle of which you can help take off, I guess. And then, well, this is a top view. So if you have a side view, then you have your rudder here, which is on your vertical stabilizer, by the way, which controls your yaw axis. And yeah, okay, so you can either steer by actually get a model. So like, say we have this aeroplane. Okay, so how would you steer this airplane? You could either steer it by using yaw, which is your rudder, to go like this. Or you could use ailerons to control your roll. So if you wanted to roll right, just for say, you would increase the like flap here and then decrease the flap here, or something like that. And then it would basically go like this. But then so basically you're flying like this right now. How do you actually get it to turn that way? They need to add some elevator pitch up. So you can create more drag here, and which causes you basically to go this way. Like, because if you were sitting normally, you add some elevator, you would angle up more. Same with down elevator, you can go downwards with that. Well, like this airplane that I just showed you, has 2 engines. That's because it just needs more thrust. But also, I can also control it with a different way, called differential thrust. And that's how a lot of my very bad RC airplanes I have work. Like very simple RC airplanes at home. But, so, where's the marker? Oh god. Okay. Okay, I found the marker. So basically, differential thrust. Oh, I shouldn't have erased that. Okay. Differential thrust is like, so you have your 2 engines here. Well, differential thrust, you need a minimum of 2 engines. And then basically you can increase the speed of this engine to create more thrust, or decrease this. And then, so if this one's this one's faster, more thrust, this one's less thrust, then of course it'll push it this way, so it'll turn left. And same thing, more thrust, less thrust, then turn right. But yeah, that's differential thrust. But if you only have 1 engine, mono engine, I think, then you just can use ailerons, elevators, and, well, rudders. Well, you'd also probably want those for here, for better control. But, yeah. How do airplane engines work, I guess I should say? Well, first of all, I don't really know, because I've never built my own. And basically the only way I can actually know how an airplane engine works is if I build it myself. But I do kind of understand the concept of the theory of how it works. So basically, well, like, we're talking about jet engines first. So you have your jet engine, and then you have your nozzle here, and basically you have your turbines here, which can help take in air and all that. Like a lot of propeller blades in there. You have like a few rows of them, like here. And then you have your combustion chamber. And then basically you have your spark plugs and fuel inlets, which connect to some weird concept that I do not know. So you have your fuel inlets, say, and then spark plugs. Oh, wait, I think that's a pretty wrong order, but yeah, you get the concept. Okay, and then you take in your air. So you take in your oxygen, and then you can put it in a combustion chamber. Then you would inlet some fuel. You would push some fuel into here, in the combustion chamber. Then you'd ignite that fuel to air mixture ratio. Yeah, it's fuel to air mixture ratio, which is really important too, because like more fuel probably equals more boom, I think. More air equals less of a boom, I think. And then, but you have it on both sides here. And basically it explodes that, and explosions equal boom. So you get this, and that air rushes out. That's a really, really basic concept, like super basic concept. Like I bet there's more like in-depth, like how these actually work, but I don't know. So, yeah. How does like propeller engine work, like, or your radial engines? Well, basically like the really, really, really basic concept, like I said before, I don't know much about engines, but you have your cylinder, you have your piston, you have your crankshaft, you have a few rows of these. I'm very bad at drawing, by the way, so yeah. And then you have your inlet valves for the oxygen to flow in. You have your spark plugs and fuel inlets. Yeah, whatever, just say that's it. And then so you inlet air, the valves open when you're inletting air, when the pistons are at the top. Then the piston is like think about it as a syringe. When the syringe goes up, then you intake air. When you push it down, then you close the top. Okay guys, sorry about that. Okay, so think about the car engine like piston stuff as a syringe. Like, so the valves open, I intake air, I compress the air when I close the valve, so there's a lot of pressure inside. Then I inlet fuel, and then I have a spark plug at top, and I ignite it, and it goes. And then after that, it goes like that. It goes like really fast. I mean, probably not, but like it goes like this. So like think about it as like this, something like this. But yeah, just think about the car engine just as that. Then this is connected to, or airplane engine, radio engine, thinking, whatever. It's connected to the crankshaft and it spins it like through this motion. But yeah. Yeah, another thing I would probably want to go over is like aspect ratios. So like you have your wing, and then so your aspect ratio would be the length of this to the chord. Yeah, lengths to chord, I'm pretty sure. And by the way, what your chord is you have your airfoil here, and then your chord is this. So it's not really your lengths to width, but it kind of is at the same time. But like, I don't know. It's easier to think about your lengths to width, but like, so gliders have higher aspect ratios, so higher lengths to chord. Like your traditional, like simple, like low speed flying aircraft have a lower lengths to chord. I mean, yeah, but they're less efficient, I think. Gliders are meant to be really efficient.